So I'm Wyatt Whipple. I'll be hosting today. We got Caleb Emery here.
What's up?
Another actor. We had just another actor.
Just another actor.
So we met on a set maybe a year and a half ago.
Is that how long it's been?
Yeah,
I was trying to think of it today,
ago.
and I was like, it's been.
Or no, that was like March. No, that was like March of last year. So like
a year ago.
And Caleb and I just clicked. I would say more than. No offense to anyone else, but I'd say Caleb and I clicked the best, and we've stayed in touch. Of course, Caleb is very successful at what he does. We were just talking about all these people you know. Of course, you just did a podcast yourself, or like you're starting your own. I guess you would call it a podcast, right?
Yeah, it's like more of like an interview video type thing for my YouTube channel that might segue just straight into a podcast as well.
Okay.
Right now we're gonna stick just straight to video, and then we'll see what goes from there.
Nice. Yeah. So you were just meeting with Logan Lerman.
Yeah, my first episode with Logan Lerman.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun. He's a cool guy. We were shooting a show in New York together. So I kind of cornered him into my first episode.
Right.
I was like, listen, if you don't do it, we're not going to be friends anymore, and I'm going to quit the show.
That gave him the ultimatum.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, though.
That's great. So do you want to talk about, or can you talk about that what you were shooting in New York exactly?
Yeah. The show's called The Hunt. It's an Amazon show. It should be coming out, I think they said spring of next year. It basically revolves around, it's based on a true story after World War II and the Nazi death camps and all that stuff happened. The U.S. government actually brought in Nazis to work as like U.S. spies and like killers and stuff like that. I'm probably getting some of this wrong, but for the most part, that's what happened. And this group of hunters are trying to hunt down these Nazis and kill them to get rid of them and for our country's like sake, basically.
So the U.S. government hired Nazis, and then there was a different group of the U.S. government who was trying to kill these Nazis?
No. So like, for the show's sake, one of the main characters is played by Al Pacino. Al Pacino's character is an escapee from the death camps. He headed this group together that went on to try to find these people and kill them. So it was like, they're not part of the government. They're not like, they're pretty much criminals because they're going around killing people.
Okay, got it.
But they're doing it for a good reason.
Okay. Yeah. And so what role do you have in that?
So I play, my character's name is, get this, it's Booty Hole.
Booty Hole.
Yes.
Nice. Booty Hole. Kind of has a nice ring to it.
Booty Hole. His actual name is Arthur McGuigan, but
it's not on his birth certificate.
No, it's just Booty Hole.
Booty Hole.
But I play Logan Lerman's best friend.
Okay.
In the show, is
nice.
With another one of our co-stars, Henry Hunter Hall plays another one of our best friends.
Okay. Henry Hunter Hall. I know that name.
You might.
Triple H. Can't miss
Different Triple H.
Okay.
Not the wrestler.
Damn.
I
knew I had it mixed up.
I could totally play the same age and best friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what was I just gonna ask? Are you in like the group of hunters?
Well, first off, it doesn't come out till spring of next year.
Okay. So you'll do us like that. Okay, that's fine.
Well, I just it's called Job Security, and I haven't finished filming, so let's not get me written out.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, all about that moolah, baby.
But it's a great show. Like, I don't watch a lot of TV, and I don't watch a lot of shows in general. I'm more of like movie oriented because commitment, I feel like. You get into a show and you're like, oh man, I missed 3 episodes. Now I'm too far behind.
Right.
This show, after reading the scripts, it's gonna be a good fucking show.
That's awesome.
Can I cuss on this?
Yeah,
podcast?
of course.
It's gonna be a good fucking show.
That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
be a big fan of this show, like personally. Even though I know what happens. I'm still gonna be amazed.
I'm always baffled at that because I look at like all the actors on Game of Thrones and I'm like, man, they're missing all this like the best TV.
Yeah.
And it's like some
of them might be fans of their own show though. like this situation, I feel like I'll be a fan of this show.
See, and that's awesome. That's awesome that you're able to do that, because I feel like I watch myself and I'm just like, I can't watch
hate
this.
every part that I'm a part of.
Okay, but you'll still try to follow. You'll still try to follow. Like you'll just close your eyes and be reading the script along with the scene, so you don't have to watch yourself.
I'll just like know when I come on and then just like go make some food and then come back.
Right, because it's like, I already know what happens in that scene. Yeah,
exactly.
And so, what did the booking process look like? Can you talk about that? Like what it took and like what got you in the door? Like everything.
Well, this situation. It's a little bit of me being stubborn and like scared of how this whole thing went down. Basically, I sent in a tape. Like I got an audition request from my agent. We taped for it. We sent it to New York. They were looking for like local hire basically for this role. For the majority of this show was a lot of local hire people because it was in New York and a lot of actors are based in LA and New York and they split their time. So we sent a tape in. They liked me. They asked me to do a callback, but it was going to be a callback in person in New York. I had never been to New York ever at that time.
When was this? This was probably pretty
back,
recently.
Maybe February.
Oh,
beginning
so
of February.
Okay, so you had never been.
I'd never been to New York.
Okay.
Like shooting the show is the first time I've been to New York. So when they asked me to do the callback, like a lot of stuff ran through my mind. I was like, man, if I fly all the way to New York, my agent was like, listen, we want you to go if you want to go, but you can only go for a day. Like you can only be there for 24 hours. We need you back here because I was reading for like a bunch of pilots at that time for like ABC and NBC and like a lot of very big roles that I couldn't like miss out on. So I said, I was like, I don't know, like let me think about it. Not that I didn't want the show. I knew Jordan Peele was the producer, and I knew Al Pacino was the lead. So, like, those two things by itself, I was like, this is a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
So I went through all the pros and cons of being like, I could go there, like, choke up and, like, mess up the audition, and then I just wasted, like, $700 on a plane flight, and I was in New York for less than a day, and I don't even know how New York works, so it's probably going to, like, that's a risk in general. So all this stuff went through my head. I was like, my tape is really, really good. I believe in my tape.
Mm-hmm.
So I eventually said, no, I'm not going to go. I was like, I don't want to go. And they're like, well, you probably won't book this because you're not going to go to New York to the callback. Like, they're not going to hire you. So I didn't go. And then they called back again, and they wanted me to come to another callback. And I said no, again. And then the day of the callback happening, I remember my manager called me and she was like, hey, I just talked to the casting. You're very much still one of their top picks, even though you're not there. And I was like, that made me feel better. But eventually came down to the fact of like, after all the callbacks, I guess that happened, they still wanted me. So yeah,
that's like a nice feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I got a call that night from my manager, and she was like, I'm just gonna let you know you're their number one pick. You're getting sent up to the producers, and you have to be like studio. For those who don't know, you have to be studio approved before they can make really an offer for you to be in the show.
So you mean you'll go through producers, like you'll go through the casting directors, you'll meet with them, then you'll meet with producers, and then you have to go through the studio after they approve you, or is it backwards? Is it like, hey, you go through the casting director, then the studio's the one saying, hey,
well, yeah, basically
we like
you audition, and then like
right.
you do the callback and you do all that, and like during the callback time, normally like a producer or the director is like in those sessions.
Uh-huh.
Once like they're like, okay, we want Caleb for this role,
right?
Then they have to send it to the studio to be like, and they
right.
They do their like thing, like make sure you don't have any conflicts of like networks, and like make sure you're not like, you know,
a criminal,
a murderer,
right? Like
so they don't like sign you on for the show and be like, wait, he killed 8 people, and
right? Or
like,
that you haven't aborted a child
in
Alabama or anything like
Alabama
that,
or
right?
Georgia. Make sure you haven't aborted children. Oh, that's very topical right now.
Yeah, we'll glaze right over that. We'll just keep talking actor stuff.
That is actor stuff because we work a lot there.
Wow.
But
good point.
Yeah, so once
So
I
you
get
you get approved by the studios.
Yeah.
They make sure you're all good.
So my
You're G to
manager
G.
called me and she's like, that's happening, but you've pretty much booked it. But she's like, don't jinx it.
That was off one tape.
That was off the one tape.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I ended up booking it from there. And the process after that's all your agent and stuff. They do all the negotiating and things like that.
That is absolutely fantastic. And so what were you working on before that? Like, because I want to go back. Actually, let's take it back to like when you got started. Like where you came from, like what your first gigs were, who your first agent was, where they got you from there, blah 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 blah.
Came from my mother.
Right,
Her name's Stacy. She's a nice lady.
60% of people do, right?
Maybe I guess. Yeah.
More or less. Give or take.
My mom and dad had sex.
Okay.
And that's how I came about.
I've heard of. Yeah, I've heard that's how it happens.
Well, I don't know.
I've never seen it.
I've never
happen.
seen it. Never.
Yeah,
done
I don't
it.
think there's any real footage. I think it's just like, hey, this footage is out there. Trust me.
I know. All they taught me in like health class was like, don't be fat, and I didn't listen. At all to
good.
That.
Good. No, you can't. You'd have to. Yeah.
McDonald's is too good.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Nugs with Caleb. Who doesn't want to go to that? Imagine if you were just
That's
like
a
a
plug.
Fucking fitness freak. Then
then
it'd be
they'd be
like,
like, oh.
kale salad with
Wyatt.
exactly right. Right. Who
Never's
would
gonna
watch that?
work.
No one's gonna click that. They're gonna see yours right below and be like, no,
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Let's watch some chicken nuggets. No, okay.
Right.
So my manager came with me.
You're just a young gunshot out here, just fucking killing ass.
I think it'll be a good next 10 years for us too. That's a long time to say, but the next decade for actors.
A lot can happen in the next 10 years.
And I say that because of this whole process of like Amazon and Hulu and Netflix and Apple and Disney having these streaming services. Like they're pushing content every day.
So much.
So
like
as
oh my
an
God,
actor,
it's
this is a
remarkable.
great time.
Yeah, there's
for us
so
to be
much more
alive and
work
working.
than ever, especially like at that high budget level. Like people are just like funding like left and right.
They're pouring a lot of money into it.
I know. And you think about even just like in the indie area, short films, dude, it's like, I mean, you could go on any of the casting websites right now, and within the last hour, there have probably been 100 postings.
Yeah.
Like it's
People are
remarkable,
making
man.
stuff. So
yeah.
You can't get discouraged because there's stuff coming out every single day.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
exactly. I know Evan here, we talk about like how after the superhero phase, it's going to go into anime. And we're like pretty
That's y'all's
strong
prediction?
believers. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's our prediction right now. So like we're just trying to get in on that, like just really try to understand that. So it's like when you come in, it's like I have no idea what this is, but it's like let me give this white guy a shot. It's like that way at least if you have like the knowledge of it and stuff, and you have a better understanding. So I mean that's just something like we're trying to follow up on.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I'll call you if that actually happens.
Yeah,
I'll
if
be
there's like, hey,
yo,
man,
you got it
we
right.
need this. We need this.
I was
we
like,
need this.
you knew the anime was gonna happen. How did you know?
Right. So
Yeah.
where do you want your career to go in like a year from now? Like in a year, what do you want to be doing? Like what do you want to have under your belt at that point?
I really want to shoot another movie this next year.
Yeah, what do you like doing more? Have you had better
I
times?
like both.
Yeah?
I mean, a movie's cool because the creative process, like, so we're shooting a TV show that's 10 episodes, and the first 3 episodes have taken us like 2.5 months.
Of course.
So like you shoot a movie in 2.5 months. So
Right.
So like I like a movie because your creative process is different. But I really like TV. Like I feel like my career is in TV, but I like doing movies. So like for the next year, for a year from now, I would love to have done another movie in a significant role. Like I don't have to be the lead of the movie, but like something that would be cool.
That's something that would challenge you, obviously.
Yeah. It would be cool to do a dramatic or like darker movie.
Right.
But,
Real quick, what would you say is the difference, like creatively, like behind like your process between TV and film?
TV and film is more of a collaborative, I think, process to make this movie what it could be. Where TV, depending on if it's network or it's not, like for network TV, I'll speak on that, is more of a writer's realm, a writer-producer realm. So it's like you're really
I've heard that.
you're trying to put out what they want, and you're bringing this character to life for them. But like it is kind of like it's not as collaborative as far as like where it could go.
Right, and I hear writers are like the boss on TV.
Yeah, writers
They're
and
like the
producers
ones,
are more
like
of
the
the boss.
showrunner, right?
I've talked to a lot of directors and that have worked in network and that are even doing our show, and they say like, you know, they are kind of just making sure